Hey guys, what's up? It's Dragoon here, and wow, it has been a long time since the last episode of the Anime Corner. I haven't done any at all, I think, while I was at school, and as you can pretty much see, I'm not there anymore. Unfortunately, I left my camera there, so gonna have to figure out what to do about that. But I wanted to make another video about this topic, and the thing that stinks is I was planning to release these videos with stuff that I picked up, except, well, I haven't bought anything because since starting school I've had a grand total of $0. Yeah, my budget has been extremely low when it came to having anything coming to purchasing anime updates and stuff like that, and boxes or whatever it might be. I picked up the newest volume of Bleach whenever it came out. I don't remember, in October, November. And there really wasn't a lot of a point in producing a video just on, hey guys, look what I got. But I do have actually something on the way, which is pretty cool. It'll be maybe a little bit of a shorter video. I'll add something into it. But with this video, there's something specific that I wanted to talk about, because Sword Art Online 2 ended yesterday. And what an ending it was. This is going to be just an overall discussion of this. I'm not going to keep it extremely long because I think I did talk about it a little bit in the last episode of the Anime Corner, whenever that was, a few months ago. So it ended, right? And basically, let's just go over the series as a whole. Is this a review? I don't know. Maybe not really a discussion. I'm just going to preface everything in this video by saying this is only an opinion, because I shouldn't say I know, but I'm pretty sure my opinion of this is going to be the more unpopular one, because that's just kind of what happens. So, let's get started. So when Sword Art Online 2 first began, I don't know, was it over the summer of 2014, or was it near the start of I can't remember, to be honest. I think it started over the summer. I came into it expecting not a whole lot, because the first anime wasn't that great in my opinion. You know, it had a decent amount going for it, but there were a few select things that really just didn't work out that well. In my opinion, the relationship between Kirito and Asuna wasn't that greatly developed, and it just kind of turned into a mishmash. It happened really quickly. Didn't really seem as real as it needs to be, which, mind you, is actually a problem that happens in Sword Art Online 2 as well. But we'll get to that, in my opinion, at least. And so, yeah, but let's stay positive, at least for the first series. The biggest thing I hated about it was that at the end of the first arc, and spoiler alert, this video contains spoilers, but you probably already saw that coming in if it's a discussion video, since we're talking about a show that ended. The main villain didn't know. He was asked, why did you do this? Why did you trap everyone in this game? And he says something along the lines of, I don't know. I can't end something like that. And I don't know. No. And then everybody knows how infamous the second half of the original anime was. It was known to be wow, the first was really good and the second's supposed to be a lot better. But it's not that much worse, in my opinion, because the first is plagued with all of these subplots that it just seems really out of place. It's kind of like a character of the day style. It felt really weird. All in all, though, I'm not saying the first anime was completely awful, because I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was amazing, but was it at least watchable? Yeah. I mean, the things it did really well was it had great animation and a pretty nice music. It had, this sense of adventure to it, and that I can praise it for. It's just, it wasn't this masterpiece that people seem to think it was, in my opinion. And then Sword Art Online 2 gets announcing they're returning to the virtual world. But this was different. This is a little different, because what's happening now is people are dying in a new game called Gun Gale Online. Okay, seems interesting, right? I didn't have the biggest enjoyment out of the first series, but heck, we'll give it a shot. Let's see what this is. And boy, was I surprised. That first arc, the first half of Sword Art Online 2, Gun Gale Online, I found to be so satisfying, for lack of a better term at this point. It was this thing that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did. I actually looked forward to watching it because it had this atmosphere that the original anime didn't really do, and I liked the new character Shinon that they had included in this season. And one thing I found to be rather interesting with this was it was great, and until at any point they referenced the original anime, and then I didn't like it that much. I was like, "This is okay. Let's get back to what we were doing before, not this." So I enjoyed it. In fact, if I could recommend any part of Sword Art Online, it's that part. I'd say watch that and watch nothing else if you can, because that is pretty great in my opinion. You know, it had a decent conclusion, unlike the Sword Art Online part of Sword Art Online. It wasn't that great. You know, you learn the motivations and everything. There's this intrigue and stuff, and like I said, the darker atmosphere and things like that. It was enjoyable to watch for me, and I'm not gonna. If this was a more specific review video, I would have more points laid out and things like that, but this is more discussion type, more impromptu, I guess. But that's great, right? Enjoyable. Surprisingly enjoyable. And then we got to the second half. The second half, which took away everything the first half did and threw it all away. So let's start this off by saying, at the end of the first half of Sword Art Online 2, you find out that the main antagonist is technically two people. And one of those two people says at the end, "This isn't over. I'll be back." Something along those lines. Okay, right? So maybe we've got some setup for what's going to happen. No. He never comes back at all. He's never mentioned again for the entire other, 14-ish, 12-ish episodes. I don't even remember how long the second half was. This guy is never seen again. And that drove me up the wall. But let's just put that away and let's try to see what else happens. Well, Kirito and friends decide to do this little quest in the game in order to achieve an item. Woohoo. And this is the biggest problem I have with Sword Art Online 2's second half. There is no urgency to the plot whatsoever. They try to create it during the Mother's Rosario arc, which is it takes up more of the second half than it was called the Caliburn arc. It was like 6-ish episodes. It was not good. They try to create urgency, but in my opinion, they fail in doing so. Because here's what happens. They introduce this character, and this character is supposed to be this awesome character, and they try to make you feel for this character after knowing her for like an episode or two, and it just doesn't work. And the whole thing I can say about this is it comes off really, really forced and fake. Because this character, her name is Yuki. Same as Asuna's last name. Woohoo. She has a terminal illness. I mean, that's sad, right? It'd be more sad if I knew her, longer than 40 minutes at the most before finding out she has this terminal illness. It'd be longer if she was a more integral character rather than just being this player in this game. That's fine, but it's like they're not trying to save her. They want to do a quest in the game so she can be happy before she apparently dies. I don't know. And then she establishes this relationship with Austin over the course of, 4-ish episodes. And once again, it comes off being really forced and fake. She says, in the last episode, actually. Asuna, I'm glad that I was able to be around somebody I loved, or something along those lines. Except, you barely knew each other, okay? And it's just, it's not good. And the entire second half, for the most part, in my opinion, can be summarized in as just a bunch of people taking a game way too seriously, especially during the first chunk of the second half, because there's no consequence. And I've talked to people about it, and they say like, "Oh, well, it's still no, it's not." If there is no consequence for our protagonist to fail at doing this quest, then what's the point? Oh no, they don't get the item in the game. Who cares? It's a game. It has no real consequence. It is just a video game, and I play video games, but it just makes all the characters look so, I don't know, pathetic, for lack of a better word. Like, the fact that this whole game is their lives, I don't know. I don't know. And like, there's one part in which Asuna, she can't speak to her own mother unless she is playing this game. She can't like have a heart-to-heart conversation. It doesn't make your character strong. Maybe it makes them seem strong while they're in the game, but the real person, the person that's playing the game, they come off as weak, and I don't know, I don't know. Like I said, if I wanted to, I would sit down and put all these thoughts together, but I wanted to make this discussion video because, while it was at least semi-fresh in my mind, because like I said, it did end yesterday, and I watched the last episode last night. So, what do you think? I mean, for me, it went from being like this surprisingly really interesting, really fun to watch show to something I don't know if I want to use hate, but I did not look forward to watching it at all, ever. Once that second half started, it was so boring, so uninteresting, and it was more fun to poke fun at the show than it was to actually watch it. I know one of my roommates and I watched it with me, and it didn't matter anymore. Like, nothing that happened mattered anymore. So, I don't know. That second half really ruined the entire anime for me, because, like I said, it was something interesting. It was something I was enjoying, and everything changed. I don't know what to tell you, Sword Art Online 2. I really don't. To the people who like you and appreciate you, you're big fans, I commend you. But for me, it just didn't cut it.